Are you tired of the astronomical number of romance anime recycling the cringe-fest of oversaturated teenage romance? Well, the cycle ends here, because we have been blessed with a mature office romance that will bring you fits of laughter and cute moments. The Ice Guy and His Cool Female Colleague is a 12-episode anime adaptation of a manga written and illustrated by Miyuki Tonogaya. Did you know it initially began as a webcomic on the author's Twitter? From here, it received a proper serialization in 2019, then has 6 volumes as of 2023. The manga's meticulously intricate art, mature premise, and wholesome romance made it blow up in the community. But with the anime adaptation, we believe that the Ice Guy and His Cool Female Colleague can make its way to the worthwhile romance anime watch list this year. So without further ado, let's dive into why this show stands out. The premise is fascinating to say the least. It's set in an office setting with fantasy elements. The show highlights a group of co-workers who are either humans or eccentric descendants of mythical creatures. For instance, there's the Phoenix, the Fox, and quite possibly the descendant of Buddha himself? With reality and fantasy meshed together with hints of romance, this show is filled with whimsical moments. Starting off, we have the Ice Guy, Himuro, who has a habit of freezing up, literally, when his emotions flare up. Why is that, you might ask? Well, Himuro is the descendant of the Yuki Onna, or the Snow Woman, a character from the Japanese folklore described as inhumanly beautiful but terrifying at the same time. Fortunately, the world is filled with such peculiar people coexisting with humans, so Himuro turning into ice is so not out of the ordinary. Then we're introduced to the one who provides simple solutions to his unconventional problems, his cool colleague, Fuyutsuki. Her pretty face and calm yet kind personality are enough to cook up a snowstorm in Himuro's heart. Like most rom-com, everyone but the oblivious Fuyutsuki knows Himuro's feelings in this love story. The story then dives into the deepening relationship between Himuro and Fuyutsuki, along with their colleagues, as they gradually grow closer. Watching grown-ups become bashful when displaying affection is both relatable and entertaining. Now let's get into the details of the characters, each with unique qualities and genuine personalities. While Himuro and Fuyutsuki are strong leads, the show doesn't fall short of interesting character combinations and couples. The first character we'll go through is the icy prince with a warm heart, Himuro. From the first impression, he might look like a serious guy, but actually, he's just your average guy who gets cold feet on the first day to work. Except in Himuro's case, he literally gets cold feet. The fact that his emotions are physically manifested with snow and ice is downright entertaining. For instance, little snowmen appear when he's happy, or a blizzard emerges when he's flustered. He even melts into a kid version of himself when it's too hot. Thanks to his over-expressiveness, he's an easy person to read, especially for his co-workers, with the exception of Fuyutsuki. His feelings for Fuyutsuki are pure, to the point where some cute moments are nothing but joy. Such acts include him gushing to the waiter about how lucky he is to be on a date with Fuyutsuki, or little moments where he gets flustered when Fuyutsuki sends him the good morning Mew message. Overall, he's an awkward yet down-to-earth guy who often freezes up when he's embarrassed or anxious. But due to the nature of his icy powers, Himuro is unable to partake in everyday activities he enjoys, like petting cats or even touching flowers. This is where his cool colleague steps in. Introducing the cool and calm queen who loves her cat, Fuyutsuki. From her stoic facial expression, you might think that she's a stern perfectionist, but in actuality, she has her own quirks. These include when she secretly has an adorable photograph of child Himuro as her phone wallpaper and her unwavering love of cats. Beyond the expressionless persona, Fuyutsuki tends to take extra care of others like her cat, lost children, and Himuro. There have been multiple occasions where Fuyutsuki steps in, such as when Himuro is gloomy over the fact that he can't touch flowers without them wilting away. In this instance, she ponders how to help Himuro and presents him with a winter flower that doesn't shrink on him. It's a simple act of kindness, but it expresses how much Fuyutsuki cares for others. Interestingly, with such apparent observational skills and logical thinking, she's utterly oblivious to the fact that Himuro has a crush on her. Will Fuyutsuki ever notice Himuro's snowstorm of feelings towards her? Only time will tell. Moving on, we have the enthusiastic, free-spirited fox girl, Komori. She's another colleague of Himuro and a descendant of a kitsune, also known as a Japanese fox spirit. So whenever she lets go of her emotions, her tail and fox ears manifest, and honestly, she looks absolutely adorable whenever that happens. She has a straightforward personality and doesn't shy away from saying what's on her mind. She's often amused by Himuro's and Fuyutsuki's chemistry and cheers them on from the sidelines. Despite her cheerful nature, she's quite easily flustered by another colleague, Saejima, and is clueless about their chemistry. We see this cluelessness when they visit Nekomi Land and when she realizes that Saejima has been helping her finish her figurine collection. It's such wholesome moments where the office setting truly shines. It's relatively similar to how people gradually get closer in our day and age. Then we have the human with a good sense of humor, Saejima. He's another human who works together with a gang. Saejima is often on the receiving end of Himuro's snowstorms and together with Komori, usually cheers Himuro and Fuyutsuki on. He enjoys talking to the free-spirited Komori, and despite his calm attitude, he occasionally does blush when caught off guard by Komori's unfiltered comments. He definitely has a thing for Komori, but hasn't had much luck with his advances. Each pair in the series go through their own arcs, and it's enjoyable to watch them overcome their hurdles and grow closer to one another. This series truly is a heartwarming journey of the uplifting pursuit of office romance. Adding to the mature approach of the show is the animation under the collaboration between Studio Zero G and Studio Liber. The show doesn't have over-the-top sakuga or fluid animation moments, but what differentiates the show from other rom-coms are the intricate character designs that fit naturally with the background, along with the crisp animated facial expressions that depict what the character is thinking without using words. Then by naturally incorporating fantasy elements, such as the manifestation of Himuro's snowstorms, it's guaranteed that each episode will be a visual treat. But that's not all. The characters and the premise aren't the only exciting things about the show. A worthwhile mention is the tailoring to the adult audience. The Ice Guy and his cool female colleague is a Josei series, meaning its target audience is older women. The targeted demographic explains why the author decided on an office setting rather than a high school one. On top of that, the romantic moments between the characters are realistically portrayed. For instance, there are no exaggerated seductive character designs or over-the-top fan service to grasp the audience's attention. It's a whiff of fresh air in the romance genre, especially for people who are tired of unrealistic romance with the usual tropes. While aiming for realistic interactions, the mature approach towards romance doesn't mean that the characters are stern or have harsh breakups. It's a light-hearted show with many heartwarming moments and struggles we can all relate to. The series explores the chemistry of various characters, so aside from Fuyutsuki and Himuro, we have the Phoenix, Kotori, and the human, Otonashi, who belongs to a different department. While only receiving small screen time, we get a good glimpse of how the relationship develops. It's the moments of mature adults getting flustered over adorable little moments that make the show stand out. Overall, the icy romance between Himuro and Fuyutsuki with fantasy elements and adorable moments between characters is what wins us over. The Ice Guy and his cool female colleague is a unique take on office romances that steps away from the typical high school romances and creates a mature atmosphere for adult viewers. By incorporating folklore into our culture, we gain a new and creative way to express the simple sentiments of human emotions. The show's ultimate selling point is the romantic interaction between humans who have difficulty asserting themselves and the fun element of supernatural elements in the backdrop. We're confident that the Ice Guy and his cool female colleague is worth adding to your watch list. For more anime recommendations and in-depth analysis, check out our next video here if you want to keep up to date. Thanks for watching!